Năm 2019 có thể xem là một năm khó khăn với nhiều liên doanh nhập khẩu, phân phối ô tô du lịch do những tác động từ việc thay đổi điều chỉnh chính sách, trong đó có Audi Việt Nam. Mặc dù vậy, trả lời phỏng vấn Báo Thanh Niên nhân dịp năm mới 2020, ông Laurent Genet, Tổng giám đốc, nhà nhập khẩu chính thức thương hiệu xe Đức tại Việt Nam, đã có những đánh giá dự báo khá lạc quan về thị trường, cũng như kế hoạch kinh doanh phân phối sản phẩm của Audi trong năm 2020.
What do you think about the Vietnam automobile market in 2019?
19, yes. Okay, so welcome to the Vietnam first, since we are here. So yes, to talk about the market, what I can tell you is let's talk first about the full market in terms of CBU and CKD, passenger car and commercial vehicles. Okay, so if you look at the full market, basically it looks like 2019 was a year of balance. So there was basically minus 11% CKD, this year. And CKD at the end of the year should be about 74% of the volume. CBU was basically growing, plus 56%, and it's accounting, or should account by the end of the year, 26% of the total volume. CBU increased a lot, mostly from 90% from Southeast Asia, with the import tax at 0%. And CKD basically just went back to a more traditional volume compared to 2 years ago. One of the highlights which actually made this happen is there was technical barriers on homologation of vehicles, which people needed time to overcome, and ASEAN was quicker to overcome than Europe. So some of the brands which have been suffering the most are from Europe. European brands, for instance, you have 19 brands in Vietnam. Out of the 19 brands, in 2016, 10% of the passenger car imported was from Europe. This year, it's hardly 4%. So you can see that they were the most affected by the technical barriers. And clearly, when this thing is relieved, that should help the European car brands.
So as you mentioned about the CKD and CBU, can you tell us about the advantages and difficulties of those phases in 2019?
Yes, so that's what I just said. So basically the technical barriers on homologation for new vehicles, whether it's actually the vehicle itself, CBU, like in 2018, or for CKD it became effective in 2019 because they had a year and a half to implement for CKD vehicles, so they can also see that it's difficult for parts and components. And then you had also the safety related parts, so the basically mirror, windshield, headlights, tires, wheels, all these had to be certified, even tested in Vietnam, which was a big question mark for many companies plus also the authorities. So this clearly generated a lot of bureaucracy and delay and cost. So those costs are totally unnecessary. They don't bring any added value, and that's why we've been advocating with the government to try to reduce or even cancel those things which are actually bringing no value, and only technical barriers which actually could even be counterproductive when Vietnam wants to export automotive product to the rest of Southeast Asia, for instance.
Alright, so in your opinion, what are the criteria for Vietnamese people to choose a luxury brand?
Well, in Vietnam, people who enjoy luxury, who can afford luxury, have a very clear expectation, like very similar expectation than other countries which have been developing this taste a long time ago, and it's very clear. They want the latest models. They want reliable advice from the sales when they buy the model. They want dependable service in case of after sales, so that means it could be warranty. Because of course even luxury cars, it's technical products, so you need to keep it in good condition. You need from time to recall because there was some issue either at a subcontractor, or at the assembly, or at the design, it depends. So they want professional warranty, efficient technical recall, and of course they want also good resale value. CBU imports tend to maintain a good resale value, luxury ones also. Then what luxury customers, especially Audi ones, expect more. They expect progressive design inside the car, outside the car, and they expect also to use the luxury car every day, but also everywhere. So that's what we can accomplish through Quattro, the permanent all-wheel drive.
Right. So talk about Audi. Can you share with us what is the business performance of Audi in 2019?
Well, actually, the business performance for us was a bit of a mixed bag because we had to do our sales performance with less than half of our normal range available. So we had only SUVs physically available for delivery to customers in 2019. So we sold basically Q2, Q5 and Q7, and this is what we could deliver to customer in 2019. So because that was what we could deliver, then clearly the performance was half of what it should be because we missed the rest. But okay, still what we did was we basically came up with new models which we launched at the Motor Show last year in October. I mean this year, sorry, in October, the Vietnam Motor Show 2019. So we launched A6, A7, A8 long wheelbase, Q3, Q8, and clearly for us that was the new models, but they will be coming to customers only in 2020.
All right, BMW and Lexus this year launching a wide range of products. So
yes.
How do they affect to the luxury market in general and to Audi?
What we estimate for the luxury market, it has been growing sizably this year compared to last year. Then the thing is, it's always good in a market when the players in the market are dynamic. Because when you have active competition, that means people are bringing new models, there is excitement about this segment, people are interested, the media is interested, talk about it, the customers are interested, they go and see and they exchange and they want to renew. There's a bit of climax which makes it very lively. And so the fact that BMW basically increased their import, they also actually they are renewing their range almost completely. So for sure it's creating a lot of interest. Usually it's putting them also forcing them to get rid of the inventory of the older models, but at the same time it's pushing all the luxury business with novelty. So BMW increased import compared to the year before. Lexus doubled actually their imports compared to the year before. For them, the year before was not very good, so because of the DQ116. But still, so then if you look at Audi, like BMW, you could see at the Motor Show, we are renewing our range. And more than half of our range is already new models. And of course, we will get them as soon as possible. The good news about Audi is that there are new Audi models people didn't see at the Motor Show, which will actually come to Vietnam. They're on their way to Vietnam and they will be here just after that.
So Audi brought e-tron to Vietnam. Is it a part of Audi like electronic cars plant in Vietnam?
Yes, we brought the first fully electric SUV, the Audi e-tron, in Vietnam as a premium brand. We are the first brand to bring that kind of vehicle, and we could only import it temporarily for 6 months to test, and we tested in Hanoi, Da Nang and Ho Chi Minh City. So we tested the Audi e-tron everywhere. So what we could see is that battery loading works perfectly everywhere. There is no issue with the temperature, the heat, no issue with the water, with the flooding, with the aircon. Everything is working very well everywhere. So then the car autonomy as an electric vehicle is as good as a petrol car. So that's the other thing which we were wondering in real condition, and we did actually all this testing, and we can prove that. Now, the issue we face is we basically see that e-tron, that is every electric vehicle, SUV in this case, to produce is costing at least twice the cost to produce as the equivalent as a petrol model. So one way to go is to create maybe a task force and give the companies interested some special benefit for a number of cars which could be completely tax-free for testing with all the companies which are in this environment willing to test and see how it works. So that's one way to go. Another way to go could be, okay, no, VinFast is so active in electric vehicle, let them do it and see what happens. The portfolio for Audi worldwide will have more than 30 models which are electric. And out of the 30 models worldwide, 20 will be fully electric. So what it means in terms of sales is that for Audi AG, by 2025, 6 years from now, 40% of all the Audi sales worldwide will be electric cars or plug-in hybrids. So there is a clear investment, a clear strategy going towards electric and fully electric.
So how do you view the potential of electric car in Vietnam?
Well, basically the potential will be based on whether there are incentive and charging infrastructure and norms which are put together with the companies involved, which are the manufacturer for cars, but also the charging infrastructure, the power provider, the urban infrastructure, the way you regulate the traffic, the toll gates. I mean, all this environment has to be coordinated in a way which is conducive. If it's not the case, it's going to be a failure.
So, can you forecast the Vietnam automobile market in 2020?
Well, okay, forecasting. I would say that I see that the market this year, as you can see, with a lot of discount and promotion by the end of the year, is getting more complicated than people expected. And whether it's just temporary or whether it's actually a trend, I don't know. But, I think that we have to anticipate maybe that it might not grow as much as it used to grow. I would imagine plus 10% or plus 15% for next year would be a reliable estimate compared to the data we have without VinFast. I don't know with VinFast because I have no clue.
All right. So, how do you expect for the government policies to support car assemblers?
For safety parts, like we mentioned before, mirror, windshield, headlight, wheels, tires. So where we need to do the certification and homologation and testing at the moment, they would instruct also Vietnam Register to actually accept certificate without testing, which for us is a massive breakthrough, because if your car has a repair because you had an accident and your windshield is broken and you have to wait weeks or months to get it tested, it's impossible to have a normal use of a car. So that's the situation we've been in so long, so far. So this hopefully is going to be basically solved. So that means customers will not need to wait for repair or technical recall. So we hope that it's going to happen.
So can you share about Audi plan in 2020?
So Audi in 2020, as I mentioned to you, this year is a bit like half of, not even half of our range. So the performance is like half of what it should be. So next year I hope to double. And the other thing about Audi in Vietnam, for Ho Chi Minh City, we've been for some years already trying to find a new site to expand, especially our after sales, because we are having we need to have better quality, in terms of premises for after sales, with more capacity to service customers faster. So we found a place, we are working on that. So we should open a new site in Audi Ho Chi Minh City at the end of 2020. Under one roof you would get a showroom, but I get also a workshop with mechanical workshop, bodywork, including aluminium, and painting and spare parts, of course.